So this month is still Endometriosis Awareness Month. It is the 29th and we have a few more days to celebrate, spread awareness, and do all of the great yellow things that we do. For myself, this month has literally flown by. I just had all of these envisions of just doing so much and I've done so little. So I apologize. But I had to take some time this month and really focus in on my health. And I'll be sharing that journey with you guys in April, just so you guys know where I am health-wise. But most of you guys know, and if you don't know, now you do know, when it comes to my health, I am very, like, cards to the chest in the beginning, and then I usually share because I'm very big on energy and sharing energy and just making sure I have people around me that are just praying me forward and praying me through. And I expect the same for you all, and I hope that you have that circle of family and friends that do the same because it's really important. But I have been busy this month. This month has been a month of just learning and education for myself and pushing the envelope for endometriosis in a different way. So a couple of weeks ago, I had the pleasure of being a part of EndoWhat's PSA that is backed by Senator Elizabeth Warren, which I love her to death. And I was really excited to add my voice to the campaign. And I recently posted a picture on Instagram of the pictures that we actually took, and it really is coinciding with the protest that will be happening April 5th and April 6th in Washington, D.C. So I'll be honest with you, it's really hard as an endo girl just navigating the politics of endometriosis when you're just trying to navigate your own personal world of dealing with pain on a day-to-day basis. And this is something that a lot of women with endometriosis have partnered together to push forward. And I am not the expert on everything that has been done to push this envelope, but I'm here just to give you guys a little bit of meat and bones behind exactly what is happening and why. So ACOG is the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, and this is the organization that sets the tone for the standards and norms when it comes to women's health down there. Now, the issue that women with endometriosis is having with this organization is that there's no real standard or protocol or norm really put in place for what should happen for a woman to, one, being diagnosed with endometriosis properly and early, and two, the type of care that that woman has an option to go through. Two big things that is a major issue that's causing so many women to go through way more pain than they have to, pay more money out of pocket that they don't need to, and three, receive so many nonchalant conversations with doctors that requires women to actually become their own specialist. So let me give you a few examples. Personally, on my journey, when you first realize that something's wrong, you go to your OBGYN and you talk with your OBGYN as if they are the specialist, as if whatever they suggest, you're truly going to take heed to, because they're the ones that went to school for however long they went to school to be a gynecologist. So you sit in your doctor's office and your doctor, you try to explain the things that are going on with your body. And your doctor is like, no biggie. Like, you probably just have really bad cycles. So let's just put you on birth control. Okay, cool. Let's try birth control. Let's see if birth control can regulate exactly what's going on in my body. You stay on birth control for 3 months or 6 months and you're still experiencing extreme pain. Now, this is a pivotal point, because at this point, your doctor would say, okay, clearly birth control didn't help. So let's find another solution, or let's really figure out what is the root of your problem. However, there's a lot of doctors that might say, maybe it's just that birth control. Let's put you in another, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another, which prolongs your actual day of being diagnosed with endometriosis. That was personally something that I went through. That was something personally that I went through for a couple of years before changing up my doctor, right? Because at this point, it's like, I'm not fooling with you anymore. Like, we've tried every birth control under the sun. And don't get me wrong, there were some birth controls that made me feel a little bit better than others. But in my mind, it's still something is wrong. And I want to know what's wrong. I'm not trying to mask a pain. And I'm not trying to take hydrocodone every single time my cycle comes on. I'm not trying to take birth control and hydrocodone mix. Like, I'm not trying to make a cocktail every single time my cycle comes on, or it's about to come on, or I feel like it should be on. So I took it upon myself to find another doctor. Now, the issue with that is, if OBGYNs, gynecologists, are really understanding what a woman with endometriosis could possibly be going through, they would be more prone to actually figuring out and taking those next necessary steps. Now, the issue with that is there's no standard protocol. There's no, hey, let me really think about this. And out of the words of a doctor's mouth, during the march in DC, he straight up said, like, there's some doctors that just take the easy way out and will put a patient on birth control for years and keep trying different birth control for years, as if birth control is going to be the answer, when it's not always the answer. It can help. It definitely can help. But for someone who's in extreme pain, like, you got to get to the root of the problem, bring them back to hormones, should that be something that they want to do. The other piece of the conversation that was interesting during the march this year was another doctor on the panel was saying his whole process of having a woman going through extreme pain. And he specifically stated that he would definitely start a woman on birth control, right? 3 months tops. If birth control isn't right, if birth control is not working, he automatically puts that patient on Lupron Depot for about 3 months. So he puts the patients on Lupron Depot for about 3 months. And then he says that if the pain subsides, then that's an obvious sign that it's endometriosis. Or not. I don't really know. But that's his process, right? Which is, to me, like, oh my gosh, it's the first time I've ever heard that. And I was having a conversation with one of my endo sisters, and she was just saying, like, you know, a lot of women go to him because they don't want to do the laparoscopy. They would rather find a way of going through the process without having surgery, which is a woman's right, right? Like, absolutely. If that's something that you want to do, go for it. But the issue there is, not all insurance will cover Lupron Depot. There are women out there who pay out of pocket for Lupron Depot. Whose fault is it? Is it because the insurance company has decided that they don't want to? Or is it because ACOG has let it be known to insurance company that that's an option? That's not a standard. So therefore, you don't have to cover it if you don't want to. You see where the issue lies? So here it is. It's a woman's option. If she wants to go to that doctor who says, hey, I want to put you on Lupron, this is my process, this is my streamline, then she has the right to. However, because there's no standard or no real conversation about how this should go for a woman who may have endometriosis, we're left flipping the bill for what we think is the right way to do things because our doctor is recommending it. Now, I'm not saying that one doctor is right and one doctor is wrong, especially if you're going to a specialist, because there are different paths for different women when it comes to endometriosis. However, if that's our standard, let it be known that women should not be paying $10,000 to $30,000 out of pocket for a Lupron shot or to go to a specialist for a laparoscopy. It's absolutely crazy. There are specialists out there who are known for handling endometriosis and doing laparoscopies, and women are paying upwards to $50,000 out of pocket just to go to a specific doctor. Point in case, when I was getting ready to do my second laparoscopy and fertility was a really big issue for me, my mom and I sat down and we discussed going to a specific doctor who did not take insurance up front. So that meant that I would have to flip the bill, and hopefully my insurance on the back end may cover some of it because he doesn't accept insurance, or I would have had to pay that money. Mind you, I had to fly across the country to get to this doctor, to get this treatment while having insurance. Why is that okay? If we know that right now the only way to truly know if you have endometriosis is having a laparoscopy, why are we giving insurance companies options to pay or not to pay for a standard treatment when it's clear that it has to be done? So these are all things that ACOG can spearhead and change for women with endometriosis, women who are going through extreme pain, helping women streamline their issue before it becomes a year-to-year issue, a 10-year issue, a 20-year issue without knowing exactly what is going on with our body. And it's time for a change. It's time for women who have endometriosis to be able to go through whatever process they need to go through to get relief. And it's time for those women who are just starting to experience pain or just searching for answers to finally have a streamlined approach to, hey, we're gonna try this, we're gonna try this. If it doesn't work, you need to go to a specialist. And here's my recommendation. All right, guys, so I hope this information was helpful. The protest, again, is April 5th and April 6th in Washington, D.C. It is a silent protest. You can do a virtual protest as well. I'll leave the information down below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.